Harsh truths you need to accept about people. Stoicism. Have you ever found yourself disillusioned by others, wondering why people act the way they do? In our fast-paced modern world, we constantly face difficult truths about relationships, betrayals, and unmet expectations. These harsh realities can shake our faith in humanity, but what if there was a way to navigate them with clarity and resilience? Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with modern relevance, offers profound insights into human nature. It teaches us that accepting certain truths about people isn't a sign of defeat, but a powerful step toward inner peace and strength. By embracing these truths, we can cultivate understanding, compassion, and emotional fortitude, transforming our interactions and expectations. In this video, we'll uncover 10 harsh truths about people that every Stoic must accept. These truths might be hard to swallow, but they are the foundation for building unshakable strength and serenity in the face of life's unpredictability. Each truth is not just a revelation, it's a tool for personal growth, helping you become more resilient and empathetic in a world that often feels chaotic. Are you ready to face these truths head-on and discover the power within you to stay grounded, no matter what others do? Join me on this transformative journey, where Stoic wisdom will guide you toward a more peaceful and balanced life. Let's dive in and explore how these Stoic principles can help you navigate the complexities of human behavior with grace and strength. Number 1. How experiences shape us all. In life, we often find ourselves at the mercy of our experiences, both the joyous and the painful. These experiences shape us, mold us, and ultimately define who we are. But what if I told you that how we perceive and react to these experiences holds far more power than the events themselves? This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, a wisdom that has guided many through the trials of life, reminding us that true strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in embracing them with a mindset of growth and understanding. Let's explore this idea and uncover the harsh truths that, once accepted, can transform your life. Have you ever taken a moment to truly reflect on the ways your life experiences have shaped you? We are all the products of our past, each of us carrying the imprints of every joy, sorrow, success, and failure we've encountered. These experiences are not just fleeting moments, they are the very building blocks of who we become. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our lives are sculpted not by the events themselves, but by how we choose to interpret and respond to them. As Epictetus wisely observed, people are not disturbed by things but by the view they take of them. This means that it is not the hardships or triumphs that define us, but our perspective on them. Consider the life of Jesus Christ, who endured profound trials and tribulations. Misunderstood by those around him, betrayed by a close disciple, and ultimately crucified, his experiences were harsh and unforgiving. Yet, through these adversities, Jesus demonstrated the transformative power of love, forgiveness, and unwavering faith. He showed us that even in the face of immense suffering, one can rise above the pain and emerge stronger. His life is a testament to the idea that our experiences, no matter how challenging, can be used to cultivate inner strength and resilience. Perhaps you have faced a painful experience that, in hindsight, proved to be a turning point in your life. It's often during the most trying times that we uncover the most valuable lessons about ourselves and the world around us. Much like steel that is tempered by fire, we too become stronger through the trials we endure. Stoicism encourages us to embrace these experiences with a sense of calmness and gratitude, recognizing them as opportunities for growth. When we shift our mindset to view every challenge as a chance to learn and evolve, we no longer see difficulties as something to be feared or avoided. Instead, we begin to welcome them, understanding that each obstacle is a stepping stone on the path to greater wisdom and strength. This perspective is especially relevant in today's fast-paced world, where we're constantly bombarded by challenges, both personal and professional. It's easy to get caught up in the frustration and stress of daily life, but by adopting a Stoic mindset, we can find a sense of peace amidst the chaos. We may not be able to control everything that happens to us, but we have complete control over how we react. This is where our true power lies. By accepting that life's experiences, whether good or bad, are all part of a greater journey, we can find strength and inner peace that sustains us through any storm. As you navigate through your life, let your experiences be your greatest teacher. Every moment, every encounter, is an opportunity for growth. When you approach life with this mindset, you'll find that you're better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. You'll begin to see that even the harshest truths, once accepted, can lead to profound personal transformation. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic philosopher. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the very obstacles you face can become the means to your greatest achievements if you allow them to guide you toward growth and self-improvement. So, as you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, how have your experiences shaped you? Are you allowing them to hold you back? Or are you using them as fuel for your personal growth? The choice is yours, and it's one that will determine the course of your life. Embrace your experiences, both the good and the bad, and use them to forge a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it's a truth that, once accepted, will transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Number 2. Different communication styles. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people communicate with soft, gentle words while others prefer a more direct and blunt approach? It can be baffling at times, especially when you're trying to connect with someone whose style is vastly different from your own. But the truth is, each person's way of communicating is a reflection of who they are, a unique blend of their upbringing, life experiences, and the deep-seated values they hold. Stoic philosophy reminds us that if we want to live a life of peace and harmony, it's essential to accept and respect this diversity in communication styles. Imagine you're having a heartfelt conversation with a close friend. The words flow easily between you because there's a mutual understanding and trust that's been built over time. But then, you find yourself in a discussion with a new colleague at work. Their words are measured, their tone cautious, and you might start to feel uneasy or even question whether they trust you. It's in these moments that Stoicism teaches us the value of patience and the importance of striving to understand others. After all, as Jesus taught in the Bible, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This message is a powerful reminder that love and empathy are the keys to bridging the gaps between us, no matter how wide they may seem. Now, have you ever considered that these different communication styles are not just barriers to be overcome, but actually reflect the richness and diversity of humanity? Each person's way of speaking and expressing themselves adds a unique thread to the tapestry of life. When we make an effort to understand and accept these differences, we don't just improve our relationships, we also cultivate wisdom and compassion within ourselves, qualities that are at the heart of Stoic philosophy. By opening our hearts to this diversity, we enrich our lives in ways that are both profound and lasting. In our modern world, where communication is more varied than ever, it's easy to feel frustrated or misunderstood. But when you embrace the idea that every person's communication style is part of a larger picture of humanity, you begin to see that this diversity is what makes our lives richer and more meaningful. For example, consider the way people communicate across different cultures. In some cultures, directness is valued as a sign of honesty and strength, while in others, indirect communication is seen as a way to maintain harmony and avoid conflict. By learning to appreciate these differences, we gain a deeper understanding of the world around us and the people we share it with. This acceptance of diverse communication styles isn't just about being polite or tolerant. It's about embarking on a journey of profound understanding and empathy. Every word, every gesture carries meaning, and it's our responsibility to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. When we approach communication with this mindset, we build connections that transcend words, connections that make the world a better place. This is what Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus have shown us time and time again over the centuries, that respect and empathy are the foundations of true human connection. As you go about your daily life, interacting with people from all walks of life, remember this lesson. The next time you find yourself frustrated by someone's communication style, take a step back and consider what that style says about them and their journey. Ask yourself how you can meet them halfway, how you can use your understanding to bridge the gap between you. In doing so, you not only become a better communicator but also a more compassionate and wise individual. Ultimately, the lesson here is simple yet powerful. Accept the diversity of communication styles around you, and you'll unlock a deeper, richer understanding of the world and the people in it. This acceptance is not just a tool for better relationships, it's a path to personal growth and enlightenment. By embracing this truth, you align yourself with the wisdom of the Stoics and the timeless teachings of great spiritual leaders. So, the next time you're engaged in a conversation that feels challenging, remember that it's an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and love, qualities that will serve you well in every aspect of your life. Number 3, diverse reactions to stress. In life, stress is an unavoidable reality that we all must face, yet how we respond to it varies greatly from person to person. This diversity in reactions is not only a fundamental aspect of human nature, but also a significant topic within Stoic philosophy. The Stoics teach us that the goal isn't to avoid stress, but to learn how to manage and respond to it effectively. Have you ever wondered why some individuals seem to remain calm under pressure, while others quickly spiral into panic? Consider a situation at work where you're faced with a critical project. For some, this challenge might ignite a sense of excitement, viewing it as an opportunity to demonstrate their skills and prove their worth. However, for others, the same situation may trigger anxiety, fear of failure, and a feeling of being overwhelmed. What causes this difference in response? It's rooted in the fact that each person carries their own unique set of experiences, values, and coping mechanisms that shape how they deal with stress. As you reflect on this, it's essential to remember the wisdom of Jesus, who said, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." This profound statement serves as a reminder that faith and patience can be our anchors in times of stress. When we believe in ourselves and uphold our core values, we find the strength to face adversity without being consumed by it. Instead of quickly judging others for how they handle stress, consider asking yourself, how can I support them? This approach fosters empathy and mutual understanding, which are crucial in building a resilient and united community. After all, it is often during the most challenging times that we truly understand the nature of humanity and the importance of solidarity. But you might be wondering, how can I apply this Stoic philosophy to my own life? The answer lies in starting with the small, everyday stresses. When you find yourself in a stressful situation, take a moment to pause and breathe. Ask yourself, is this truly important? What lesson can I extract from this experience? By cultivating a habit of calm reflection, you can begin to transform stress from something that overwhelms you into a tool for personal growth and learning. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective encourages us to view stress not as an enemy, but as a valuable teacher that offers us insights into our own strengths and areas for improvement. Furthermore, understanding that everyone has different thresholds and ways of dealing with stress can lead to more compassionate interactions. When you see someone struggling under pressure, rather than distancing yourself or making quick judgments, think about how you can offer support. Sometimes, a kind word, a listening ear, or just being present can make a significant difference. This approach not only helps others but also reinforces your own resilience and capacity for empathy. Let's bring this back to a practical level. In your day-to-day life, how often do you stop to consider your own reactions to stress? How do these reactions align with the person you want to be? By incorporating Stoic principles into your daily routine, such as practicing mindfulness, reflecting on your values and seeking to understand rather than judge, you can better manage stress and, in turn, become a source of strength and stability for those around you. Remember, stress is not inherently negative. It's our perception and response that determines its impact on our lives. So, as you navigate the inevitable stresses that life throws your way, I encourage you to embrace them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what can this situation teach me about myself? How can I use this experience to build my character and resilience? In doing so, you'll not only improve your own ability to handle stress, but also inspire others to do the same. The next time you're faced with a stressful situation, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This simple yet profound truth lies at the heart of Stoicism and serves as a guiding light for anyone seeking to live a life of wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. Thank you for joining us in this video on the harsh truths you need to accept about people through the lens of Stoicism. It's been a meaningful exploration, and I'm grateful for your time and attention. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these truths resonates with you the most? And how have you seen it play out in your own life or the lives of those around you? If you're not sure how to start your comment, you might begin by sharing which truth surprised you the most, or how you plan to apply these insights to your daily interactions. Your experiences and reflections are valuable, and I'd love to see them in the comments below. Number 4. Innate judgment. As we navigate the complexities of human nature, there's an uncomfortable truth that we must all confront: our innate tendency to judge others. This inclination, while deeply embedded in our survival instincts, can often lead us astray, causing us to overlook the true essence of the people we encounter. But what if we could transform this judgment into something more compassionate, more insightful? Let's explore how Stoic philosophy, alongside timeless wisdom, can guide us in mastering our judgments and living a more empathetic life. Every day, we are faced with countless decisions, some as trivial as what to eat for breakfast, others as significant as choosing a career path or forming relationships. Yet beneath these choices lies a more subtle, pervasive act: the judgments we make about the world and the people in it. Have you ever paused to consider why we are so quick to judge? This instinct is deeply rooted in our need for self-preservation, a mechanism developed to help us navigate a world filled with potential threats and opportunities. However, while this ability to judge can be a powerful tool, it can also lead us down a path of misunderstanding and prejudice, blinding us to the deeper truths and values within each person we meet. Picture yourself walking down a crowded street when you suddenly notice a beggar sitting on the sidewalk. Your first reaction might be one of judgment. Perhaps you think they are lazy or incapable of taking care of themselves. But have you ever stopped to question the fairness of this judgment? As you reflect, consider the words of Jesus: "Do not judge, or you too will be judged." This teaching serves as a crucial reminder of the importance of compassion and the danger of making hasty judgments without understanding the full story. It's a call to look beyond the surface and recognize that each person's circumstances are often far more complex than they appear. Let's delve deeper with another story from the Bible. When Jesus confronted the crowd ready to stone a woman accused of adultery, he said, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." This profound statement is not just about showing mercy. It's a stark reminder that we all possess flaws and imperfections. Before we judge others, we should first turn our gaze inward and examine our own hearts. This lesson resonates strongly with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of self-control and self-awareness over the impulse to change or critique others. Our innate ability to judge, while essential in certain contexts, can easily become a double-edged sword. It enables us to quickly assess situations and respond appropriately, but it also has the potential to foster biases and perpetuate misunderstandings. According to Stoic teachings, one of the keys to overcoming this pitfall is to practice restraint and mindfulness in our judgments. The next time you find yourself passing judgment, ask yourself, is this judgment truly fair? Do I possess all the information needed to accurately understand this person's situation? By approaching judgment with caution and empathy, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal of living wisely and justly. Moreover, judgment should never be divorced from reflection and compassion. Every individual carries a story, a history that shapes who they are and how they interact with the world. When we open our hearts to listen, we begin to uncover the hidden value and beauty within each person. This approach not only enriches our understanding of others, but also fosters a life filled with kindness, patience, and wisdom. As the famous philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This self-reflective question encourages us to temper our judgments with humility and self-awareness. So, as you continue on your journey of self-discovery and personal growth, remember that the judgments you make about others are a reflection of your own inner world. By cultivating a habit of thoughtful, compassionate judgment, you not only elevate your own character, but also contribute to a more understanding and connected world. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, learning to live in harmony with others by first mastering oneself. As we prepare to delve into the next truth on our path, consider this. Have you ever felt a gnawing sense of anxiety, a vague unease that lingers even when there seems to be no immediate threat? This question sets the stage for our exploration of a common yet often overlooked aspect of human nature, our deep-seated insecurities, which will be the focus of our next discussion. But before we get there, take a moment to reflect on the judgments you've made today. How might you approach them differently tomorrow? Number 5. Common insecurities. Insecurity is a shadow that lingers over each of us, casting doubt and fear into our minds, often clouding the light of peace and happiness we all seek. But here's a truth that might surprise you. Insecurity is not the enemy. It's a natural part of being human, and understanding this can be the first step toward achieving tranquility in your life. As a Stoic philosopher might remind us, the way we respond to insecurity is far more important than the insecurity itself. Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by the fear of what might go wrong in the future? Maybe you're worried about losing your job, fearing that you're not good enough, and that you might be replaced. This type of insecurity can eat away at your confidence, affect your job performance, and ultimately diminish your quality of life. But why does this happen? It happens because we often focus on trying to control things that are beyond our control. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, teaches us that our concern should not be with the insecurities themselves, but with how we face them. Consider the example of someone anxious about their job security. The root of their worry often lies in factors they cannot control, such as the economy, company decisions, or others' perceptions. Instead of allowing these worries to consume us, Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus to what we can control: our own actions, our efforts, and our attitude. When you concentrate on doing your best in every situation, you gradually weaken the grip of insecurity. After all, it's not the circumstances that disturb us, but our judgments about them. This concept is echoed in the teachings of Jesus, who once said, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." This wisdom reminds us to stay grounded in the present moment, to focus on what we can do today, rather than being consumed by the uncertainties of the future. Worrying about what might happen tomorrow distracts us from the opportunities and responsibilities of today. But how often do we allow ourselves to get swept away by fears of the unknown, letting them dictate our emotions and decisions? Let me share a story from modern life that might resonate with you. Imagine a talented artist who spends more time doubting their abilities than creating. They fear that their work will not be well received, that they will never achieve success, and that they might fail. This insecurity, rather than protecting them, holds them back from reaching their full potential. However, if they adopted a Stoic mindset, they would recognize that the opinions of others and the outcome of their efforts are beyond their control. What they can control is the dedication they put into their craft. By focusing on what they can influence, their work, their discipline, their passion, they could move past their fears and create with freedom and confidence. The same principle applies to you no matter what insecurities you face. So, how can you apply these Stoic principles to your daily life? Do you often find yourself worrying about things that are out of your hands? What if, instead of letting those worries dictate your actions, you focused on what you can actually change? The next time insecurity creeps in, take a moment to ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, then let it go. If the answer is yes, then put your energy into making a positive difference. This shift in perspective can help you reclaim your peace of mind and empower you to live more fully in the present. As we near the conclusion of this segment, I want to invite you to share your thoughts on how you deal with insecurity. Do you find it difficult to let go of worries about the future? How do you manage the things that seem beyond your control? Your experiences and insights could offer inspiration and comfort to others who are struggling with similar challenges. Please leave a comment below and join the conversation. Let's learn from one another and grow together on this journey of self-improvement. Before we move on to lesson number 6, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here, for listening, and for reflecting alongside us. Every time we come together to explore these timeless teachings, we create an opportunity to learn and grow, not just individually, but as a community. Your engagement, your thoughts, and your willingness to reflect on these ideas are what make this journey worthwhile. So, if you found value in what we've discussed, please hit the like button and share this content. Each share is more than just a click. It's a small yet meaningful act of spreading wisdom and helping others on their path to understanding and tranquility. And remember, lesson number 6 is just around the corner, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. Let's continue this exploration together, embracing the wisdom of Stoicism and applying it to our lives. Once again, thank you for your continued engagement and commitment to this journey. Number 6. Self-interest in relationships. Have you ever taken a moment to consider why, in our relationships, whether they be friendships, romantic connections, or professional partnerships, people often seem to act out of self-interest? At first glance, this might appear to be a form of selfishness, but in reality, it's a fundamental aspect of human nature. We all have needs, desires, and goals that guide our actions, even in the most caring relationships. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then, or bear with them. This quote highlights the idea that self-interest is not inherently negative. Rather, it's a natural part of being human, one that we need to understand and manage effectively. Think about it. Why do we form relationships in the first place? In romantic relationships, we often seek security, emotional support, and understanding. In friendships, we look for companionship, trust, and shared experiences. In the workplace, we desire recognition, opportunities for advancement, and fair compensation. In each of these scenarios, there's an underlying current of self-interest. We connect with others because these relationships fulfill certain personal needs, whether emotional, social, or professional. Even the teachings of Jesus echo this sentiment, as he said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." This wisdom reminds us that loving others does not mean sacrificing all our personal desires. Rather, it involves finding a balance between caring for others and caring for ourselves. But here's where it gets interesting. When we acknowledge that self-interest is a natural part of our relationships, we can begin to harness it in ways that actually strengthen those connections. It's not about denying our own needs, but about aligning them with the well-being of others. Ask yourself, in your current relationships, are you primarily seeking to fulfill your own desires? Or are you also considering the needs and happiness of those around you? By recognizing this duality, we can transform self-interest from a potential source of conflict into a driving force for mutual growth and understanding. Let's consider a modern example to illustrate this point. Imagine a colleague at work who always volunteers for extra projects, seemingly to gain favor with the boss. On the surface, this might appear purely self-serving, but if you look deeper, you might find that this colleague is also trying to contribute to the team's success, hoping that their efforts will benefit everyone in the long run. This is a prime example of how self-interest can coexist with a genuine desire to help others. When we view our actions and the actions of others through this lens, we can see that self-interest doesn't have to be a negative force. It can be a catalyst for positive change and stronger relationships. But how do we strike this balance between self-interest and the interests of others? It starts with self-awareness and honest reflection. Take a moment to evaluate your relationships. Are you giving as much as you're receiving? Are your actions motivated by a desire to help others as much as they are by your own needs? When you approach relationships with this balanced mindset, you create a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, which can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Moreover, when we accept self-interest as a natural part of who we are, we can begin to use it as a tool for growth. Instead of viewing it as something to suppress, we can channel it into positive actions that benefit both ourselves and those we care about. For instance, the desire to be loved and respected can motivate us to become better partners, friends, and colleagues. The need for recognition can drive us to excel in our work, which in turn can inspire and uplift those around us. By aligning our self-interest with the greater good, we create a win-win situation where everyone benefits. So, how can you apply this understanding to your own life? Start by being mindful of your motivations in your relationships. Are you prioritizing your own needs at the expense of others? Or are you finding ways to ensure that both your interests and those of the people around you are being met? The key is not to eliminate self-interest, but to integrate it harmoniously with the well-being of others. When you do this, self-interest becomes not a barrier, but a powerful force that can help you and those around you grow together. Remember that it's not about choosing between yourself and others. It's about finding a way to serve both. By understanding and accepting this aspect of human nature, you can cultivate relationships that are not only fulfilling for you, but also enriching for those you care about. In the end, learning to love yourself and others in a balanced way is the secret to turning self-interest into a strength, one that helps build lasting and meaningful connections. Number 7. Projecting thoughts and emotions. Have you ever caught yourself assuming that others feel the same way you do, only to realize later that you were completely off the mark? This tendency to project our own thoughts and emotions onto others is a subtle yet powerful force that can distort our understanding of the world around us. Stoic philosophy offers profound insights into this common human behavior, reminding us that by becoming more aware of our projections, we can cultivate a clearer, more compassionate view of those we interact with. Have you ever noticed how easily we judge others based on our own thoughts and emotions? This psychological phenomenon, known as projection, is something that even the most self-aware among us can fall prey to. The Stoics understood this all too well, cautioning us against the dangers of projecting our inner states onto others. When you feel anxious, it's natural to assume that others are just as anxious as you are. When anger grips you, it's easy to believe that others harbor malicious intentions. But this habit of projection doesn't just cloud our judgment, it distorts our perception of reality and creates unnecessary misunderstandings and conflicts. Consider a situation at work where you're stressed and exhausted. You might notice a colleague who seems distant or uninterested, and it's tempting to interpret their behavior as a sign of indifference or a lack of care. But what if they're dealing with their own set of pressures, battling their own anxieties? By projecting your stress onto them, you not only misjudge their actions but also close yourself off to empathy and understanding. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes particularly relevant. The Stoics teach us that to avoid the pitfalls of projection, we must practice self-awareness and strive to control our emotions. It's about learning to separate our personal feelings from the reality of a situation, allowing us to see things as they truly are, rather than through the lens of our emotional state. This concept is echoed in the teachings of Jesus, who urged us to love your neighbor as yourself. This directive is a powerful reminder to approach others with the same understanding and compassion that we desire for ourselves. Instead of rushing to conclusions based on our projections, we are encouraged to step into the shoes of others, to understand their circumstances without the cloud of our own emotions. But how often do we actually practice this level of self-awareness? Have you ever felt misunderstood because someone projected their emotions onto you? Or perhaps you've been the one projecting, only to realize later how it led to unnecessary conflict or hurt feelings. These moments of realization can be powerful lessons in empathy and self-control. They remind us that every person we encounter has their own internal world, shaped by experiences, beliefs, and pressures that we may know nothing about. By practicing greater self-awareness, we can begin to untangle our thoughts from our perceptions of others, leading to clearer, more compassionate interactions. Let's take a look at modern life, where the fast pace and constant demands can easily exacerbate our tendencies to project. In a world where stress and anxiety are all too common, it's easy to assume that everyone around us is feeling the same pressures we are. But if we step back and recognize that our emotions are our own, not necessarily shared by others, we can approach our relationships with a much-needed sense of calm and understanding. This doesn't just improve our interactions, it helps us to build stronger, more meaningful connections based on mutual respect rather than false assumptions. So how can you apply this insight to your own life? The next time you catch yourself making assumptions about someone else's thoughts or feelings, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I projecting my emotions onto them? This simple question can help you step back and reassess the situation more objectively. It encourages you to focus on what is actually happening, rather than what you imagine to be happening. By doing so, you open the door to more genuine understanding and empathy. As we continue to explore the teachings of Stoicism, it's important to remember that each of us carries our own set of values and perceptions, shaped by our unique experiences and environments. This diversity is what makes human interaction so rich and complex, but it also means that misunderstandings are inevitable. However, by embracing the Stoic practice of self-awareness and control over our emotions, we can navigate these interactions with greater wisdom and compassion. So, I ask you, have you ever felt trapped by your own projections? How can you cultivate greater self-awareness to improve your relationships and interactions with others? Your experiences and insights could provide valuable lessons for others on this shared journey. Share your thoughts, and let's continue to grow together in understanding and empathy, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. In doing so, we not only better ourselves but also contribute to a world where clarity and compassion lead the way. Number 8. Varying values. The true value of a person isn't always something you can see right away, but it's one of the most powerful forces driving how they act and react throughout their life. Jesus wisely taught, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged," reminding us that every individual is on their unique journey, facing their own challenges and learning their own lessons. Picture yourself working alongside a colleague whose values seem to be the complete opposite of yours. Perhaps they prioritize career advancement and financial success above all else, while you place a higher value on peace, family happiness, and work-life balance. In such situations, it's easy to fall into the trap of judgment, thinking that your way is the better or more righteous path. But what if, instead of judging or trying to change them, you made an effort to understand and respect their values? By doing so, you not only foster a more harmonious relationship, but also open yourself up to new perspectives that can enrich your own worldview. Think about it. How often do we dismiss someone's priorities simply because they don't align with our own? Yet, the diversity in values is what makes human interaction so rich and complex. By asking yourself, how can I learn from the different values of others? How can I apply those values to improve myself? You begin to see the world in a broader light. The varying values that each person holds are not obstacles to be overcome, but opportunities to expand your understanding of life. In Stoic philosophy, Accepting that others may not share the same values as you is crucial. It's about recognizing that the existence and development of every individual contribute to the collective progress of humanity. When we respect and learn from these differences, we align ourselves with Stoic principles, and in doing so, we move closer to achieving deep peace and happiness. Let me share a story from modern life that illustrates this point. Consider a family where one sibling values independence and career success, while another cherishes close family ties and community involvement. On the surface, these differing values might lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. However, when they take the time to understand and respect each other's perspectives, they not only strengthen their bond as a family but also broaden their own horizons. The sibling who values career success might learn the importance of community and family support, while the one who cherishes close ties might gain a deeper appreciation for independence and personal achievement. In this way, the diversity of values within the family becomes a source of growth and mutual enrichment rather than division. So, how can you apply this understanding to your own life? The next time you encounter someone whose values differ from yours, instead of jumping to conclusions or attempting to convince them to see things your way, take a step back. Ask yourself how their perspective could offer you a new way of looking at the world. What can you learn from their priorities that might help you grow as a person? This approach doesn't just help you build stronger relationships, it also helps you develop a more balanced and enriched view of life. Finally, remember that diversity in values is not a weakness, but a strength. It adds richness to our interactions and helps us grow on our journey of self-discovery and understanding the world around us. Because each person is driven by different motivations, this variety is one of the fundamental aspects of human nature that we should cherish. The Stoic philosophers recognized that understanding and accepting the differences in each person's motivations is essential for living harmoniously and with mutual respect. By embracing this truth, you can cultivate a life filled with deeper connections, broader understanding, and ultimately, greater peace and fulfillment. So, the next time you find yourself questioning someone's values, remember that their journey is just as valid as yours, and that their perspective might hold the key to a lesson you've yet to learn. If you've made it this far, you're truly embracing the Stoic path. Drop a comment saying, "I accept the truth," to show you're committed to understanding and accepting these harsh realities. Stick around. There's much more wisdom ahead. Number 9. Differences in motivation. The motivations that drive each of us are deeply personal, shaped by our unique values, beliefs, and life experiences. For some, the pursuit of career success is the primary focus, while for others, the motivation might revolve around love, family, or personal fulfillment. Take, for instance, the life of Jesus, whose actions were driven not by a desire for material wealth or power, but by an unwavering commitment to love and compassion for humanity. His life and teachings, centered on selflessness and the salvation of others, exemplify how different values and motivations can guide us on vastly different paths. Jesus' mission was not about worldly achievements but about a higher calling, one that still resonates with millions around the world. But the reality of our daily lives often presents situations where motivations clash. Think about the workplace, where an employee might be driven by a need to balance work with family time, while their boss is focused on maximizing productivity and work performance. These differing motivations can easily lead to tension and conflict. How do we navigate these differences without compromising our values or straining our relationships? This is where the teachings of Stoic philosophy offer profound guidance. Rather than judging others or insisting that they adopt our perspective, Stoicism encourages us to practice empathy and understanding. By recognizing that everyone is motivated by different factors, we can approach each situation with a sense of respect and a willingness to find common ground. Consider this. When you find yourself at odds with someone else's motivations, how often do you stop to consider what's driving them? Do you take the time to understand their perspective, or are you quick to impose your own? The Stoics remind us that every individual's motivations are valid in their own right, even if they don't align with ours. Instead of viewing these differences as obstacles, we can see them as opportunities to grow in our understanding of others and to foster stronger, more harmonious relationships. Imagine a community where everyone's motivations are respected and valued, where instead of competing or clashing, people work together, recognizing that their diverse goals can complement and enhance each other. This approach isn't just theoretical, it has practical applications in everyday life. Let's say you're working on a project with a team, and you notice that each member is motivated by something different. One is driven by the desire for recognition, another by the love of learning, and yet another by a need for financial stability. Instead of trying to mold everyone into a single motivation, what if you acknowledged these differences and found ways to align the project's goals with each person's unique drive? By doing so, you not only increase the chances of success, but also create an environment where everyone feels valued and understood. The same principle applies in personal relationships. In a marriage, for example, one partner might be motivated by a desire to build a secure future, while the other is focused on enjoying the present moment. These differing motivations don't have to lead to conflict. They can actually balance each other out, creating a partnership that is both stable and fulfilling. The key is to recognize and respect each other's motivations, using them as a foundation for mutual support and understanding. So, how can you apply these insights to your own life? Start by reflecting on your own motivations. What drives you? Are you motivated by success, love, recognition, or something else entirely? Once you understand your own motivations, try to view the motivations of those around you with the same clarity. Ask yourself, am I respecting their motivations as much as I expect them to respect mine? This question can be a powerful tool for building empathy and fostering more harmonious relationships, both at work and in your personal life. At the end of the day, understanding and accepting the differences in motivation among people is not just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating a community where everyone's goals and values are recognized and valued. As you move forward in your life, remember that each person you encounter is driven by their own unique set of motivations. By approaching these differences with empathy and a willingness to understand, you can build deeper, more meaningful connections and contribute to a more harmonious world. Let's consider the broader impact of embracing these differences in motivation. When we respect and honor what drives others, we contribute to a culture of inclusivity and mutual respect. This doesn't just benefit individuals, it strengthens the entire community. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." In the context of differing motivations, this means that what initially seems like a barrier, a difference in values or goals, can actually become the path to greater understanding and connection. So, as you encounter varying motivations in your interactions with others, embrace them as opportunities for growth, both for yourself and for the relationships you cultivate. Number 10. The impact of empathy and understanding. What is it that truly binds people together in a world that often feels disconnected and distant? According to Stoic philosophy, the answer lies in empathy and understanding. These are not just virtues to be admired from afar. They are the foundation of strong, enduring relationships. In a world that's constantly changing and filled with challenges, the ability to genuinely place ourselves in someone else's shoes is a profound strength, one that not only deepens our connections with others but also enriches our own lives in ways we might not expect. Have you ever stopped to think about what creates the deepest connections between people? Stoic philosophy tells us that it's empathy and understanding that truly bring us closer together. In the complexities of life, where challenges often seem overwhelming, the ability to empathize, to truly see and feel what another person is going through, isn't just a noble quality. It's a powerful force that helps build relationships that last. Empathy goes beyond merely understanding someone else's emotions. It involves reflecting on those emotions, responding to them in a meaningful way, and sometimes even sharing in their burden. Consider a moment when you were with a close friend who was experiencing the pain of loss. Simply being there, listening to them, sharing in their grief, and offering your presence can provide immense comfort. This act of empathy strengthens not just your friend, but also deepens your bond. It's a strength that Jesus himself exemplified through his teachings and actions when he said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." This command is not just ethical advice, it's a living principle that, when practiced, allows us to connect with others on the deepest level possible. When we live out love and empathy as Jesus did, we begin to transform into better versions of ourselves, and in doing so, we contribute to the creation of a better, more compassionate world. Now, take a moment to ask yourself, when was the last time you truly listened to and understood someone? Empathy doesn't require you to have all the answers or solutions to another person's problems. It's about being present, about sharing the emotional load, even if it's just for a brief moment. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This simple wisdom underscores the importance of taking the time to listen. Listening is the gateway to empathy, and through empathy, we can open doors that intelligence or talent alone could never unlock. In today's world, where loneliness and isolation seem to be growing problems, the practice of empathy and understanding is more crucial than ever. We live in a time when technology connects us like never before, yet so many people feel more alone than ever. It's here that the principles of Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus can serve as our guides. They remind us that real connection doesn't come from mere proximity or constant communication. It comes from a deep understanding and genuine care for others. Empathy is the antidote to the disconnection that many feel, and it's something that each of us has the power to cultivate in our daily lives. So, how do you begin to practice empathy and understanding in a way that genuinely impacts your life and the lives of those around you? Start by making a conscious effort to listen more than you speak. When someone shares their struggles with you, resist the urge to immediately offer advice or solutions. Instead, try to understand what they're feeling and why. Acknowledge their emotions and let them know that you're there with them, not just in a physical sense, but emotionally as well. This simple act can transform the way you interact with others, leading to deeper, more meaningful relationships. In a world that often prioritizes quick fixes and surface-level interactions, practicing empathy can be a revolutionary act. It's about seeing beyond yourself, recognizing the humanity in others, and choosing to engage with that humanity in a way that is both compassionate and constructive. Whether it's in your personal relationships, at work, or in your broader community, empathy has the power to create connections that are truly transformative. As you continue to reflect on these ideas, remember that empathy and understanding are not just tools for improving your relationships. They are essential for living a life that is aligned with the principles of Stoicism. They help you to build a character that is resilient, compassionate, and wise. So the next time you're faced with the opportunity to connect with someone on a deeper level, take it. Let empathy guide your actions, and you'll find that the connections you form will be richer, stronger, and more fulfilling than you ever imagined. Empathy and understanding are the cornerstones of meaningful human connection. They allow us to bridge the gaps that often divide us and to build relationships that are based on mutual respect and genuine care. By embracing these principles, you not only improve your own life but also contribute to the well-being of those around you. So, as you go about your day, ask yourself, how can I practice empathy today? How can I better understand the people in my life? In answering these questions, you take a step toward living a life of greater connection, compassion, and fulfillment. As we wrap up our exploration of the 10 harsh truths about people through the lens of Stoic philosophy, it's clear that understanding and accepting these realities can lead to profound personal growth. These truths are not just insights into human behavior, but are powerful tools that can transform the way we interact with others and navigate the complexities of life. From recognizing how our past experiences shape us to embracing the power of empathy and understanding, Each truth provides a foundation for living a more peaceful, intentional, and meaningful life. Embracing these truths allows us to approach life with greater patience, understanding, and love. It helps us realize that everyone we meet is on their own unique journey, shaped by experiences we may never fully understand. By accepting and respecting these differences, we cultivate deeper, more genuine relationships and foster a sense of inner peace that resonates through every aspect of our lives. In your daily interactions, I encourage you to consciously practice patience and empathy. Take the time to listen to others, to understand their perspectives, and to respond with kindness. This is not just about improving the lives of those around you, but also about enriching your own soul. The power of empathy and understanding can transform your relationships, your outlook on life, and ultimately, your sense of fulfillment and happiness. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploring these profound Stoic truths. I hope this video has provided you with valuable insights that you can apply to your own life, helping you to become the best version of yourself. If you found this content meaningful, please support the channel by liking the video. I would love to hear your thoughts. How do you plan to incorporate these truths into your daily life? Share your reflections in the comments below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family who could benefit from these teachings. And of course, make sure to subscribe to Stoic in your life, so you won't miss any future videos on Stoic philosophy, personal development, and living a life of resilience and purpose. Together, we can continue to grow and thrive on this journey towards a more enlightened and fulfilling life.